Hi anglers, Captain KCP again. Here's the front of the trailer. Did the rewiring. I gotta go ahead and redo the support arm for the boat. The trailer is actually a 18 foot and I believe the boat is 16 feet. So the condition of the trailer is a little weather beaten, run down. As you can see, I'm gonna tidy that up. Probably come up this season, stuff like that. As you can see, I made a homemade mount for the transit mount. I do have a transit mount trolling motor. So this is my little handiwork right there. The plywood that I use for the decking. As you can see, it looks a little frosty and a little snowy. Yeah, we have some snow on the ground. It's the middle of January or December, what you want to call it, the first couple of days. I think, is it? Yeah, exactly. It's December 31st, stupid. But anyway, so this is where the live well is. I don't have that much of, too much of deck area to work with. This is an older boat. It's a 86 bayliner trophy Triumph trophy bass boat. Back there is the 85 horse Chrysler motor. I don't know that is working yet. I got to put some water ears on it and get it going. The glass that I had was intact when I picked the boat up from a salvage yard. It got cracked, so I just went ahead and put some Gorilla Glue or super glue on that. Made some bushings. The padding, I got one padding on this side that I reattached. I got the other padding there. This is just storage and wood pieces that I got left over from when I was cutting. Made the live well right there. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off today, go home and recarpet that. Went ahead and made a battery box right here for the trolling motor, the gas tank area for that one. I'm also just gonna put in a 6-gallon tank for right now. The brand new one is about 200 bucks. I'm trying to keep it on a budget myself. Try not to invest too much if the boat doesn't work. The gas tank was given to me. I found one laying around with my work that I do. I'm a roll-off construction driver for a dumpster company. So the seat that I found, I have the back for that right there that I'm going to go ahead and manufacture a backing for that with the extra piece of foam. I'm going to do the leather. So got another battery box cover over there for the main source of the battery for start the boat and the trim. Back side of the motor looks halfway decent. It's a Force 3 prop. As you can see, there's water coming out of there at the bottom. So other than that, it looks pretty well intact. I mean, there's a couple dings and dangs, but other than that, put on some new trailer lights for the back, the side runners. So I rewired all that. I did some rewiring up front. Other than that, I got the trim button up here, aeration tanks and stuff like that. Figure all these buttons out when it's a little warmer. I want to take this, I got a couple days off of work. I want to go ahead and carpet the back deck and the front deck. Then I got the underside to hold the board down. Lift that up if I can. There's the undercarriage of what it looks like. Pretty much dry underneath there, which is a good sign. I haven't checked the back. The back of the boat is a little bit messed up. I'm gonna go ahead and just give you a rundown. Like I said, this is a 86 bayliner trophy bass boat. Looks like it had a name on there from one harbor that it sat in. Picked the boat up for $200 at a salvage junkyard that I dump off the garbage that I do for my job. Picked the trailer up for $200. It came with a boat. Got rid of the boat for free on Marketplace. That was also a bayliner boat. It had a 305 engine. The guy was more concerned about the 305 Chevy engine in it. As you can see, the legs of the boat or holding the boat up need to be readjusted. I tried to adjust them, and I was like, well, if I start messing with it now, I'm going to drop the boat. So I want to get it where it's hooked up right now. I'm going to, like I said, redo the front winch where it's properly set. And then once I drop the boat in the water and get it off the trailer, I'm probably going to go ahead and do some dimensional work and see where the runners need to be done and set up. Right now in the back, one of the runners for the beam of the boat is not even touching. I'll get down there and show you that without getting too bad. You can see the gap is about 3 inches, so the whole boat needs to be lowered down about 3 inches or so. I don't want to mess with it until the boat's in the water or somewhere where I could take it and get the boat off the trailer and rework it. Not too bad for a $200 trailer. Don't know if the wheel bearings work or not, or if they're sloppy or just need to be rebuilt. Just minor stuff, you know, but it adds up. There's one guy on YouTube right now that's took a John boat and spent $5,000, and he's like, you're like, wow, $5,000 for a John boat. Well, granted, it looks nice, and I was really surprised, but he did put what he wants on it. He wants what he wants, and he's happy with it. That's all that matters. I just said the key word. He is happy with it. So that's the main gist. I'm going to be happy with this once it's up and running. The things I do to it I'm so far glad for my little handiwork that I've done to it with the decking. Right now, my daughter's walked all over it, so with her boots and being muddy, so I'm hoping to get this in my warm garage, dust it off, and go ahead and put the carpet on and go from there. Like I said, this other glass for the driver was cracked over there, so I did all that. Made washers out of rubber radiator hose just so it doesn't bounce around. They're not perfectly designed, but it does its job. I'm trying to do this on a very, very budget. I'm not the richest man in the world. I've never been. I never will be. So I'm trying to nickel and dime this boat to get it going. This will probably be my first and last boat I'll ever get until I retire and win the millions of dollars with the lottery. If I get it up and running, and it costs me, right now I got a spreadsheet going. I'm about $1,200 in between the wood, the boat, and the trailer, and odds and ends of screws, electrical stuff, electrical items. You know, the trolling motor I already had, but I counted that for the cost of it into it. The battery that from the previous boat that I had, if you check out the channel that I talked about, another dinghy that I had, I sold that one. So I invested some money in that first boat, then I got this one. So I'm adding all that up since I started last season of my YouTube channel of fishing and going from there. So I'm invested I just gone on the high side, about $1,500. Real quick summary of what's going on. I had to redo, let me see, point over there. I had to redo the electrical for the trolling motor. I set it up. I made a homemade foot pedal. I'll show that once I get this boat up and running. I did some electrical engineering, if you know what I mean, to make a foot pedal out of that. So I'll address that once it's a little closer to Time on the Water. There's also a TV show like that, Time on the Water, that this guy goes fishing. But once I get this boat up and running, I'll get the kinks worked out. Probably take it to a lake that I know where I could drop it in and be by myself for a while, make sure the bilge pump works, the live well works, start the engine, don't go anywhere, because if the boat starts to sink, of course the captain's supposed to go down with the boat, but I'm going to be swimming my butt to shore as fast as I can, and I'll just call a salvage yard to get the boat, and that'll be it. I don't want to go down that road, but if it happens, but I don't want to. It's just, somewhat of a decent setup here that I got. Like I said, with the trailer, just a little TLC, probably sanding, grinding, and new fresh paint job. I don't know if I'm going to go back with white. It sort of matches the boat as I see now. Sitting down making a video, white would look pretty good. Don't know if I want to do black. There's my truck. It's gray. So with that being said, that's the video that I wanted to make about the boat. Like I said, it looks a little disarray right now. I just covered it up for the season. Every time I get a project, it always seems to be late fall and going into winter. I wish I could do a little bit better for you, but I'm going to focus on going back to show you guys on what I've done so far. Like I said, I put the deck on, put the live well, did the transit mount, excuse me, let me just turn over the transit mount, trolling motor set up because I didn't want to buy a bow mount for $400 since I already had a trolling motor. But I could take that off and sell the trolling motor for somebody that needs it for a canoe or a kayak, or you guys like to say a yak. And then I could take that off. I could take that off and get an actual, trolling motor for it and get a couple dollars back. I have the padding for this. I just have to remount that. I'll probably keep the original carpet that's down under here. It's not too bad. Probably just a nice little shop vac. The back here and underneath where everybody sits, it's a little bit of run down and worn out, but I don't want to mess with it. If it's got a good base and it's secure, I'd rather just live with it. It's just cosmetic. This is not, $150,000 bass boat that goes 250 miles an hour on the water. And if you can get on the water and fish, that's my main goal. I want to get on big bodies of water and fish. So we got to do some work to the motor, see what's going on with that. Got to do a little prop job. There's a couple nicks and kinks and dents on that. I know the tilt works. I've already tried that out. Like, bring it back up to the situation. I got the gas tank that I got from a friend. Did a little handyman work for him. He gave me a gas tank so I could fill it up, go from there. Got the extra spare tank to keep that with me. Gonna have a fire extinguisher on board, make it all legal. So I don't know what the regulations are on that, keeping a gas tank on board other than in storage. So I might get flagged on that, but if I keep it under the deck and no game wardens out, we'll go from there. Right now, I believe everything should be here intact. As I saw it, I wouldn't have picked it up, but I couldn't pass up the deal of $200 just for a play boat. And getting it titled and registered is another $50. Getting a title and transfer everything in my name for the trailer is another $200. So really roughly under what I'm going to do with it, I would say probably under $5,000. And I'll keep a spreadsheet going and I'll make a list of that. I should have a bass boat and get on open water. It seats 5 people, and I could see myself taking out my buddy and his son. That's not too much weight. Even myself and my daughter, my wife. I have my sister that lives has a campground in Michigan. Take that out for the weekend. I could go fishing in the morning, then I could go cruising around with the family. So other than that, steering works pretty well. As you can see, I'm turning the wheel. The motor's turning pretty well, so that's nice and good. Made over there was a CD port or a stereo, so I wanted some storage. So I made, let me walk around over there. I had to cut the hole out to fix the storage, and then I just took a piece of wood and covered it up. I'll probably paint that or sand that down, take that off, sand that down and trim that up a little bit, make it a little more dressier. Now I got storage for whatever I want in there. So the seats are pretty decent for being so old, except for one that was destroyed. Got another little tackle box that I'll keep on with tools like screwdrivers, pliers, filters, electrical fuses, anything to do to fix the boat if I get stranded out there. So that's always good to have. You think about that. Anything that, you know, you once you're on the water, my opinion, since I'm not saying I've been around boats and water that much, but once you're on the water, you're pretty much dead unless you could call somebody to help you if you get stranded out there. So you got to be prepared for everything. You got to be prepared for fire. You got to be prepared for electrical issues. You got to be prepared for fuel issues, and go from there. Make sure your batteries are charged up for the day or the weekend, and go from there. Try everything out before you put the water, you know, the boat in the water. Get it going. Feel comfortable. Take it for a test run not too far away where either you could paddle back or use a trolling motor to get back to land. Just don't take it and run across the water and say, oh, I'm good, and all of a sudden you're stuck 4 miles out from somewhere and nobody's going to help you, and you can't get back to land, and you're stranded. So with that being said, I'm going to end this video. It's getting a little chilly out. All I wanted to do was come down and get the decking, the front and rear, and a couple other items, and I'm going to wrap it up, tighten it up for the winter, and I'll see you guys in a couple more months. And once I get the boat up and rolling, it's gonna be a little cleaner, and go from there. Put the carpet on today. Nice warm shed or garage that I have. So I'll do some work. Probably put the live well in that I have at the home. I got to address that issue too. So with that being said, I leave you that. Have a good day. Bye now.